All right, so I want to be quick here on today's NFL games. They're both divisional round games. Yes, when I came home just close to half an hour ago, I was watching pretty much the end of regulation of, close to the end of the regulation of the Bears versus Rams, and boy, was it a wild one. I'm glad I didn't miss the rest of it, man, because it led to overtime when Caleb, he was tripled that he had to step back a few steps, and eventually he had a wild throw, and fortunately somebody at the touchdown goal line was right there to catch it, and boom, forced overtime. You know, it tied the game, and then, with like less than a minute to go, um, it already eventually ended up in overtime, and from there, it was a tight battle, mainly defensively. But when the Bears had the possession after the Rams first did in the overtime, Caleb was trying to throw it to another one of the Bears players, and it resulted in an interception by one of the Rams. And that's where I told myself, man, the Bears are going to be in danger of losing this game here, since the Rams, who had won a title in 2022, just are more playoff experienced. And I mean, I'm trying to recall the last time the Bears were in the playoffs like that. And I know this is probably Caleb's first year in the playoffs, and if I'm not mistaken, this is his second year as a Chicago Bear. And to see his Bears drastically improve from the first season. I mean, man, they were almost there, but unfortunately, having given their all defensively, it's like, it resulted eventually in the field goal, kicking the field goal attempt for the Rams. And it was a 42 yard attempt, and it was successful. The Bears did all they could. I mean, the ball looked like it was about to hit the pole, and it turns out it went in. So therefore, the Rams won 20-17 in overtime. Very close one, just like the Bills and the Broncos. A close one. By the way, speaking of that Bills and Broncos game, there was a controversial call that went against the Bills, and I mean, the detail. I mean, I'm not a football expert, but it looked like that I heard that it cost the Bills' season. Into where I think that it could have been the Bills, kicking the field goal attempt, whatever it is, to win it. But that was a controversial call, and ultimately, it ended this season to where the Broncos had the kicking the field goal attempt. I watched that game yesterday, right at overtime, when I also came home from going somewhere, and just to see that happening. So two really good games. I did not watch the Texans versus the Patriots. That one was a blowout. The other blowout game it's even worse. The Seahawks blowing out the Niners 41-6. That was just not even close to being competitive whatsoever. So didn't really miss much on that one. But two really good games, two blowout games. One was just worse than the other, even though I did not watch the other one, which is the Patriots. But yeah, man, now comes the conference finals, the conference championship games. It's Rams versus Seahawks Rams versus Seahawks, and then this one I definitely want to watch. Another must-see, even more must-see than the other one. Broncos versus Pats. Two of the most dangerous teams in AFC, and both would just had I think if I'm not mistaken, you know, double-digit win streaks. So two teams are going to go at it. I expect that one to be very tight, very close, and possibly reach an overtime. But yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that one. That one's going to be must-see TV. Pats versus Broncos. And boy, just imagine if the Pats went back to the Super Bowl without Belichick and Brady for the first time. Rams and Seahawks, that one definitely must see as well. And I got a couple Rams fans in my dump. They're gonna be all for the Rams, and I know in my household it's the Seahawks for a couple family members. I do expect that game also to be very close. So both games are going to be very, very good for damn sure. And there's also a possibility both games could reach overtime. I mean, damn. The regular season between the Rams and the Seahawks, like both games are very competitive, right? It's just, man, these are going to be neck and neck battles for this year's conference championships, and whoever goes to the Super Bowl, that one's also going to be competitive for damn sure. Not like last year's where the Chiefs got a real ass whooping by the Eagles, who got knocked out by the Niners in the wild card round. That was also a very competitive game until the Niners themselves got ass whooped by the Seahawks. So it's going to be interesting. So let me know what you guys think, man. Fun games today. All right. Peace.